Why Mario Barrios? I mean, why not, right? I mean, he has a WBC title. People always got something to say about me not being a world champion, but somehow making more money than them, you know? I mean, I just got to flex on them one time. But, so I'm here just to, settle that noise a little bit and just really show everybody that when I'm at my, best, that I could really do damage to anybody at 147. So
I want to go into the fight, I want to test his heart. I want to test, how bad, he really wants to be in there. Because you're right, me, Devin, even Rollies, we all have very different styles. But I'm the type of fighter, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna press you. Like I'm gonna whether I get dropped, whether I get hurt, I'm gonna be in there, trying to hurt you. I'm in there with bad intentions. I don't go looking for a knockout, but if it comes, it comes.
The second they took their seats on the live broadcast, the energy in the room noticeably changed, long before a single punch was thrown. It was clear right away that this wasn't the usual pre-fight hype. Ryan's tone made that obvious. He didn't sound like someone building excitement for an upcoming bout. He sounded like someone fighting to protect his name and everything attached to it.
I'm gonna spice it. The only thing I'm worried about him for is Joe don't stop fights. So if he's getting cut, he ain't gonna stop the fight. I'm just telling you, he ain't gonna stop that fight. I know you don't want it, but he ain't coming to save you. I tell you that. Like Joe is one of those guys. So, because I predict it's gonna be a bloody fight. I'm being dead serious. I think it's gonna be a lot of cuts. I'm just saying. Mark my words. And I think he's gonna need to stop it, but he won't. But hey, you're a warrior. You're an Aztec warrior. So I'm right. So, ooh, it's gonna be good. Oh, cannot wait.
When he questioned why Mario Barrios, the response was simple. Why not? Barrios holds the WBC championship. That reaction wasn't about strategic matchmaking or opponent selection. It came across as built-up frustration about legacy, unfolding right there in the moment.
And the fact that Joe is training him is hilarious to me. I know all Joe's techniques. He don't teach but putting your hands up. So I'm about to put a beating on these guys bad to the point where I'm probably going to retire both of them. Joe and Mario Barrios. They're probably never going to work a boxing fight after that. And I told him already on the other show I was on, yo, when I knock him out, this is a bet. You can never wear that Canadian tuxedo again. I'm tired of seeing that. It's retired. I got something for him, so, it sucks for Mario. He made a bad move there. Joe made a bad move, and now I'm going to just put a stamp on both of them. Bad.
He's fully aware that the criticism about not holding a world title has followed him everywhere, lingering in the background of every conversation. Beneath his self-assured tone, there's a trace of frustration that's hard to miss. He leans into it even more, speaking about delivering a definitive performance at 147 pounds and handling Barrios in a way no one has before. It's a strong claim to make, especially considering he's up against an opponent known for resilience and refusing to back down.
Ryan, you said you don't know which version of you is going to show up.
Yeah, I mean, I know which one's version is going to show up this fight. At the end of the day, that Rolly camp was just a hard one to get by, I was doing a lot of stupid shit, not treating my body like a temple before that. I mean, obviously I had a year layoff. But it's okay, it's behind us. I'm ready to I position my body to be in top form. I feel in top form, top shape. And that's what he's gonna get, the best version of me.
What's different about this camp?
Man, we just started early, man. We started way out, didn't wait for somebody to give me a date, and made sure that when I came into camp, I was already ready to fire off. And, everything's clicking perfectly now.
The moment that stood out most was when Ryan downplayed Joe Goossen working with Barrios. He suggested he was already familiar with Goossen's approach and experience, implying there was nothing new to worry about, and even labeling the partnership a mistake. It sounded relaxed on the surface, but it carried a clear mental edge behind it. Here's the interesting part, though. Claiming insight into a trainer's methods goes both directions. If you understand how that camp operates, they likely understand you just as well. That dynamic creates a situation where any perceived advantage can just as easily be neutralized.
At the end of the day, bro, they're all gonna get it bad. Like I'm gonna do them so bad. You know, Joe's a known mole. You know, I mean, not to get deep in it, but he's a mole. I talk my. He's a traitor, and I got something for him come the press conference for all of them. They're not ready for this type of mental warfare. I've been in the long car rides with Joe. I know everything about Joe. I know and Mario, he's just gonna get whooping like no other. That's just what that is.
He goes on to say his hand is fully healed and that he's in a completely different headspace after pushing through a difficult period. At that point, the tone changes. It moves away from bold talk and starts to feel more like a comeback story. It becomes clear this isn't only about scoring points or securing a victory. There's a bigger objective at play, reshaping how people view him. And when Ryan makes it clear that the crowd reactions, the pre-fight chatter, and the outside distractions don't matter to him, he presents himself as entirely focused on the task ahead.
What do you think Joe's telling him about you?
I mean, same thing as everybody says, you know, left hand, make sure that's up, you gotta protect it, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's what I would imagine he's saying. And gotta take that away. It's probably, you know, other little things like that. You know, they drill a lot of just keeping the hands up all day long. So it's like here, 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 here. But, you know, this freestyle type of boxing, you know, with technique is gonna overwhelm this man.
That kind of composure can mean two very different things. It might be the quiet focus that comes just before delivering a defining performance. Or it could be the steady tone of someone reinforcing his own belief as much as he's projecting it outward. Either way, the conversation didn't come across like standard fight promotion. It felt deeply personal. And just as Ryan's presence carried intensity and conviction, Mario Barrios stepped in with a completely different demeanor. He sounded measured and steady, like someone fully aware of the challenge ahead and already prepared to face whatever comes with it.
I know, everything that Ryan has been saying, he's saying, he's focused, his team is saying that he's the sharpest he's ever looked, all this stuff. And all I can really say is, I hope so, man. Like, I can only hope, I step in there on fight night and I get the best version of Ryan, because that's going to bring the best version out of me. And then, that's only going to, that's only going to benefit, the sport of boxing. I'm looking, to have a sensational performance. I want to have a very, I want to make a statement, with this fight. I haven't had, the type of victory, defending my title yet. And, that's really, what I'm looking, to get, out of this fight.
Sean puts the question to him directly, asking who presents the greater threat, a 46-year-old Pacquiao or Ryan. Mario doesn't bite on the comparison. Instead, he answers in a measured way, saying it all comes down to which version of Ryan steps into the ring. It's a straightforward assessment, and probably the most accurate one. Even Barrios is preparing for the highest level Ryan can bring, not an unpredictable version. That kind of mindset reflects experience. He then adds that he actually wants the most focused and polished Ryan possible. It's a subtle but competitive remark. He's not downplaying him. He's welcoming the toughest test available. The atmosphere tightens further when he addresses the social media and streamer image surrounding Ryan. There's no shouting or dramatic insults, just a composed sense of doubt. At the same time, he makes it clear that Ryan is, first and foremost, a real fighter.
Like, Ryan is a legitimate fighter, like a legitimate boxer. But he definitely has like that influencer, like streamer, like persona. And like that's really the only thing that I don't fuck with. And it's not that like I don't like him. It's just everything they do, or the way that they move is like they move it in a way that, like, if they know there's always like a camera on them, or there's always like trying to do something for like clicks or likes. So yeah, I did call him a payaso, and it was just because the whole like his antics. I know like, he has his his history with Joe.
Barrios gives off a calm, camera-ready presence that doesn't get ruffled by flashy energy or theatrics. When he admits he nicknamed Ryan Paso because of all the pre-fight hype and antics, it's clear this isn't personal animosity. It's frustration with the showmanship. What really grabs attention is when Barrios says his goal is to test Ryan's heart. Not his speed, not his power, but his resilience. That's mental strategy wrapped in a professional demeanor. He also mentions pushing forward no matter the circumstances, signaling a game plan built entirely on relentless pressure. While Ryan focuses on making statements and seeking redemption, Barrios centers on proving his own identity and toughness. One fighter is showing he's evolved. The other is demonstrating he's always been steadfast. That stark difference creates a tension that could make their matchup exceptionally compelling.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions, that I'm looking, to ask, on fight night. I want to go into the fight, I want to test his heart. I want to test, how bad, he really wants to be in there. Because, you're right, me, Devin, even Rollies, we all have very different styles. But I'm the type of fighter, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to press.
As Barrios discusses testing heart and applying relentless pressure, Conor Benn slips into the discussion with the precision of someone already analyzing the matchup. When he labels Ryan Garcia a loose cannon, it grabs your attention, not as an insult, but as a technical observation. Benn isn't questioning Ryan's skill. He acknowledges his speed, athleticism, showmanship, and raw talent. Yet he immediately pairs that recognition with unpredictability and subtle hints at lapses in professionalism. The contrast speaks volumes, all without him raising his voice. It's insight from a fighter who's reading habits and tendencies, not just highlight reels. What really stands out is when Benn notes that on paper, Ryan should have the edge, but then immediately questions whether that edge will translate in practice. He references the Raleigh fight and the impact life outside the ring can have, highlighting that skill alone doesn't guarantee execution. In other words, talent and its real-world application are two entirely different challenges. When you have them
qualities mixed with someone who's, has true Mexican blood, fights with heart, fights with pride, and fights for his country and fights for something more than clicks and views, it's hard to pick who's going to win. Really, you think Ryan should win, and Ryan should win, really. He should win.
Then Benn shifts focus to Barrios in a very deliberate way, portraying him as a fighter driven by heart, pride, and something more substantial than clicks or social media buzz. It's a subtle form of respect wrapped inside a comparison. He doesn't hype Barrios for flash or theatrics. Instead, he presents him as grounded, quietly dangerous, and seasoned. Benn points out that Barrios has spent years navigating the welterweight division, while Ryan is still carving out his place there. What stands out is how he avoids picking a clear winner, noting the difficulty when explosive entertainment intersects with time-tested grit. That's a calculated fighter's perspective, strategic, not emotional or fan-driven. It almost feels as if he's already envisioning facing the eventual victor at a major venue like Wembley, weighing both marketability and in-ring dependability. Benn's approach isn't hype, it's analytical. He sees Ryan as controlled chaos with elite tools, and Barrios as structure backed by proven resilience. When a future contender talks like that, he's not just observing the fight, he's dissecting what comes after.
If I'm not going to put all my eggs in one basket and bank on Ryan winning.
Yeah.
Or even wait until then.
Yeah.
We could do the Rolly Romero fight in May at the O2 in London. And then the winner of Garcia Barrios, in June, July for a unification. So or we just go to Rolly and then, fight the winner.
The moment the loose cannon conversation lingers, the focus shifts, almost like the boxing world zooms out to examine structure, coaching, and what goes on behind the scenes. Suddenly, Ryan returning to Henry Garcia isn't sentimental. It feels tactical or even risky, depending on how you view it. When Paulie points out that father-son dynamics can swing either way, it clicks immediately. With Ryan, it's never really about raw talent, it's about control. Chris Algieri emphasizes that Ryan's outsized personality isn't just a throwaway comment. It's central to the makeup of his entire camp. The unspoken question becomes clear. Can Henry actually provide grounding, Or is he merely a source of familiar comfort? Things get even more revealing when they discuss Ryan's tendency to resist strict instruction, favoring a more relaxed, living room-style training atmosphere over structured gym routines. That isn't just observation. It's a subtle warning wrapped in polite phrasing.
A star, an athlete that can work with most of the trainers that have been around you, great trainers, but you just can't work with them. Then you come back to your dad who hasn't been around training you for a few years already. I think this is just a situation where let's keep it up in the house. Let's do it our way. Let's go see what happens and make as much out.
At the same time, Robert Garcia frames it as keeping everything in-house, pointing out that Ryan wants to control the process. It's a heavyweight insight delivered without a single punch thrown. Meanwhile, Barrios quietly asserts pressure simply by his presence. As analysts dissect Ryan's coaching situation, no one doubts Barrios' discipline and preparation. One camp revolves around emotional recalibration, the other around methodical preparation for a world title fight. Robert even concedes that Ryan still possesses the speed, power, and finishing ability to stop Barrios, which is undeniably true. But he quickly separates that raw talent from the father-son dynamic, noting that any success isn't guaranteed by the system itself. In other words, if Ryan comes out on top, it's because of his unique gifts, not a perfect framework. That contrast creates real tension. Barrios is being treated like a complex problem to navigate, while Ryan is being carefully rebuilt and stabilized. Different energies, same ring. And when a matchup is analyzed more through psychology than just technique, the stakes and volatility instantly feel higher, without anyone needing to raise their voice.
Probably the reason he's not with them anymore, because they had to put up rules. They had to say, this is allowed, this is not. We're not going to do this, we're not going to do that. And maybe Ryan didn't like it. That's why he's, those are three of the best trainers out there. You can't pick anybody better than that. And you're still not with any of those. That just, tells you that he wants to do his thing on his own. And that's why he's bringing in the dad now. He still has the skills. He still has the power. He still has the speed to connect and knock Barrios out. He could do it.
When you zoom out and take in the full picture, this fight isn't just a stylistic matchup. It's a clash of stories that have been quietly building for years, only now colliding in the ring. On one side, Ryan Garcia isn't just facing Mario Barrios. He's confronting perception, reputation, and the lingering questions about his discipline, focus, and consistency. Every quote, interview, and camp decision signals one clear theme: redemption. Barrios, on the other hand, isn't chasing a transformation or trying to sell a narrative. He's embracing who he already is: durable, steady, and mentally unyielding when it matters most. That stark contrast is what gives this fight its real volatility. Analysts are scrutinizing Ryan's camp and coaching setup, while fighters like Ben are breaking down his unpredictability. The debate over coaching adds yet another psychological layer before a single punch is ever thrown. Here's the hard truth. Raw talent versus controlled pressure has always been a dangerous combination in boxing. If Ryan is truly focused, sharp, and emotionally centered, as he claims, his speed and explosiveness can change the fight in an instant. But if Barrios drags him into deep waters, tests his heart as he openly stated, and forces him into a disciplined, tactical battle rather than a flashy showcase, the momentum can swing just as fast. This matchup isn't solely about skill. It's about who can remain stable under pressure when the spotlight blazes and the stakes are at their peak. Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's dissect this fight. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Boxing Headquarters for more breakdowns.